Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We are reading from November 2nd through the 8th. This is the last week of pre-shadow for Mercury Retrograde on Sunday, the 9th. It goes retrograde until I think it was the 29th of November. And then post-shadow ends on the 16th of December. And yeah, fun times. Not really, but fun times.
Remember what?
Okay. I know. Like, I just don't even know what's happening, but okay.
I'm like, these holidays are coming. Like, I have to remember that. Like, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And I have a birthday and a Christmas in the next 2 months. So like, whoa, all right, here we go. This is my reality check.
A lot of big things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are the mermaids telling us this week?
So the mermaids spit out probably my favorite card, not a shock, the free spirit card. I freaking love this card so much. And I don't know if it's my favorite because I've pulled it a lot and there are cards in this deck that I've never pulled before, but I love this one. I love it so much. It's funny because today when I look at this card, I see my friend Steph actually. I see her in this card. And what is coming to mind, and not necessarily about Steph, like as a person, but like I'm just, the Steph energy to me, because she's just so vibrant and so fun all the time. She's always down for just like almost anything. Like she's just that person. And that's probably why we get along. Because also why our friends have to watch us. We're the ones that nobody knows where we went. The reason why I feel I feel this card is not just like, hey, be a free spirit, but it is like almost like a demand, like you're not doing it. Like it is like check in with yourself, and it goes with the last one that we did last week, which feeling of that prison, that imprisonment, self-imprisonment, free your spirit is basically what I think the your should be in there today. It's not just being a free spirit.
Yeah.
Freeing your spirit. So that's where that is going for me today. And for me personally, we know that I'm pretty free spirited in most ways, but sometimes my spirit gets trampled by life and stuff like that, just like everybody else. And it is an act of intention to get back into my spirit. I have to lay on my Shakti mat and do my meditations, and I have to light my candles, and I have to I have to do my rituals without fail. My burning and the things that I know shift my energy, I have to do them when my spirit starts to get dampened, or else it goes dormant. And then I'm just going through the motions, and a year goes by and I haven't done anything that feels inspiring. So that's what I feel like this card is telling us to do. Is like, how can you free your spirit? That doesn't necessarily mean looking free spirited. It doesn't mean running off and frolicking and, not having responsibilities and things like that, which is what I think most people think of with a free spirit. I actually had somebody tell me the other day, I am attracted to your free spiritedness. And I wanted to correct that person and say, okay, but it's my spirit is what you're feeling, but I'm doing everything the same way that most people are doing it too. Like there is a balance of the 3D and the spirit that you got to find that makes you feel like your spirit is free, that you have choice, and maybe sometimes you're not electing to do it, but you're still free. That you have maybe some challenging relationships, but they're not dampening your spirit because you still feel like you have your choice. You still feel free. So that is definitely what this feels like it's saying, is how can you free your spirit? You have to get in touch with who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you like, what makes you happy, what lights you up. That's very difficult. When I ask people that question, they look at me like a deer in headlights. They're like, my kids, food. Like they can't, like there's no depth to it because it's not something we talk about enough.
Yeah.
right? Like we don't use the right words all the time, to be able to really get into like how it feels. So that's what I feel like this lovely stuff alike has come to do is how can you free your spirit, your inner self today?
Yeah. Yeah. You free it by surrendering your addictions.
Holy crap. I
So whether you're addicted to
love it when it's
substances,
easy.
food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. I don't know about replacing it, but
Yeah.
I think that because healthy things that seem healthy can be addictive too. I think one of the reasons, it's not everybody, is the rejection of self, right? It's that rejection of self. It's trying to cage that free spirit into something that is more palatable for the world.
Mm,
It is caging that free spirit because you feel like you're too much, or people have told you you can't be that way because professional people don't do that. It's that old idea of, the thing that comes to mind is nurses can't have tattoos. It's like, why not? Nurses are cool.
mhm,
And it's
yeah,
it's all of these rules that have been put into place that don't allow us to embrace our light, our freeness. And so the way we do that is, what happens is we begin to cope, and the way we cope is through addiction. And I, one of the things I've come to work with and realize in the past year or two is my addiction to self-soothe with food. And that is one of my things, is because it's soothing to me. And partially because, when I was young, we did not have food. We did not have a lot. There was food scarcity in my life. And so I use it to make myself feel better, because if I have food, then I'm okay. It takes me away from that feeling that I'm feeling, the anxiousness. And so, it's not just addictions can happen in ways that you don't even think are addictions. People who
yeah,
burn out, they're addicted.
mhm,
They're addicted to work. Workaholic. There's a conversation that says if you don't work this hard, then you're not worthy or you're not doing enough. All of these things are contained in these set of like belief systems, rules, and things people have said to us contain your free spirit.
mhm,
And so part of being free is freeing yourself, is that surrendering the addiction. But it's not just like, oh, getting rid of it. This is not a getting rid of moment. This is a moment to say, I see where I may be a little bit addicted to this. Why? How is my body dysregulated? What is dysregulating my body? Is it because my natural inclination is to go off and be a fairy in the world and and be fun and be almost childlike, and people say that that's not right and that's not mature? Is it, what is underneath the addiction? What emotion are you trying to escape from? That's where you start, because addiction is just that sense, that feeling of there's so much inside of you that wants to be free, but it cannot.
yeah.
So
And I love that the reminder that addictions can be really sneaky, because that's like a hard conversation to have sometimes with people, because the word addiction, words are important, and sometimes people hear that and they're like, oh, that I don't have any addictions, and it's like, I bet you can find one. I mean, everybody has one. I mean, even if you have to have coffee in the morning, it's technically an addiction, right? Like it's not always a maladaptive addiction, but sometimes we don't recognize that, like, spiritual bypassing can be an addictive way of ignoring your feelings, and you love how it feels to get spiritual, so then you just use it as a coping skill. That is
yeah.
an addiction, right? Like that is in the framework of addiction, because you are soothing yourself with something that is not doing the work for the root cause, right? Like being distracted, being in forward motion all the time. Achievement is a huge addiction that I talk about all the time with people, is like, that feeling of, oh, but I love to be driven. And I'm like, okay, so you're addicted to feeling driven, but why are you so driven? Like, why are you not allowed to have balance in your life that actually will make you achieve better, because you have more balance and more energy and more clarity and all of that kind of stuff, right? Like that conversation is hard because people don't see those things as addictions. We're pretty clear on like drug addiction and alcohol addiction. We're getting better at figuring out food addiction. We're learning about electronics and all of that as addictions. But some of those more sneaky ones, I feel like, are the ones that a lot more people have. So they're very difficult to identify as ways that you're harming yourself. But
Yep.
they're so good to figure out, because even that, like, even if you know that you tend to be, seeking validation all the time, and that is something that you're addicted to, and that's getting in the way of your free spirit because it makes you be a person that other people like and not who you are. Gosh, you heal that validation and then become who you are, you're going to feel great. You won't need that validation. You'll no longer be addicted to other people's input.
Yeah.
Yay, that's what we're looking for. Your spirit wants that.
Well, and that's the whole reason of therapy. That's the whole reason of being in therapy or any healing session, is like that idea of becoming autonomous within your own self, to govern yourself and not having all of these other conditions given to you by society, family, teachers, whomever, to tell you who you need to be and to exist. And it's like just being free of that.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yes. Okay. So a reminder, like I said last week, get yourself a journal. Any sparks of inspiration, aha moments, write them down, take time, spend time with, this Mercury retrograde, I think, is pivotal for a lot of people. And it's funny that it goes in between Sagittarius and Scorpio. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet of luck. It is the planet of our bigness. If you think of a Sagittarius, they are all knowing how great they are. They don't have to question how amazing they are. They know that they are, and they will appear that way into life. And then you move back into Scorpio, which is very much underworld kind of energy. It is shadow energy. It is the emotions about what prevents us from being our vibrant, expansive Jupiter Sag self, because we all have every sign in our chart somewhere. So, as you maneuver through this retrograde, think about what is in my shadow, what emotion, what feeling, what sense is preventing me from owning my bigness, of my own energy, and how it is projected into the world, and how I'm here to do with the energy what I feel like doing with, whether it's teaching, leading, whether it's supporting, whether it's being creative and artistry, and or whatever it is. And however you do that, like, what is the underlying emotion, the shadow that's preventing that? And that's, I think, what this retrograde will give a lot of us. Of course, look at where it is and what house it's Sag and Scorpio are in your chart. It'll tell you the areas, the energy of where that bigness is, you're not showing up in that bigness is, because it'll tell you what's involved there. But man, I tell you, this is one that could help us catapult us into that next year that's coming in a really big, bright way. Because I think by the end of this year, I mean, we're already all sick of what's happening. We're going to need to be even brighter next year in order to maneuver through this and to make actual change. So get yourself a journal, open up a notes doc, title it Mercury Retrograde, November of 2025, and just write things down. Just always have something at hand to write the inspiration, the aha moments down, because they're coming. I promise they're coming, because we're recalibrating, we're recharging, and we are just resetting ourselves and understanding who we are. I've seen it. I've been experiencing it. Everybody's, in some form is experiencing it in their own way. So, yeah, I'm hoping this retrograde, while we always have to watch our words, leave room for travel, take a breath every time, just before we speak, reread our freaking emails and our texts and make sure it's going to the right person. And
our attachments are there.
Yeah. But all the normal retrograde, but really this is going to be for you. This is going to be for you in a big way. So our money card, I have permission to be wealthy. Amen.
Oh yeah.
wealth isn't always just about money either.
That's right.
So you have permission to be wealthy. We have permission to be wealthy. Yeah. So I'm going to end this probably every reading for the next 2 months on this. If you need resources,
Hopefully not. I mean, I really and truly, I hope that this is the last time that we even say it, and that we don't even need to say it because
yes,
something has happened. But yes.
absolutely.
Here's the
But
energy.
in case,
Yeah, here it
in
comes.
case we are still needing to say this, because we are recording this 2 weeks before this comes out. If you need resources because you had your SNAP benefits turned off, please reach out to us. We can try to find resources. I'm happy to send you bread. I send it every part of this country. So reach out, or email us. Don't DM us, please, because we'll not probably forget to look at it. Email us at freudsangels@gmail.com. Or if you know one of us, really, if you reach out on our personal handles. But also a great website is findhelp.org. You put in your zip code and it gives you a list of really good resources to help you cope with what's coming. So yeah, deep breath. I would love to have endless amounts of wealth to help you all through this, but we are here to help in the ways that we can. Absolutely. So we send you love, and we pray that this is a moot point by the time this comes out. Yes. So we will see you soon. Have a good week and take care.
Yeah, love you. Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.